Stop drinking water the way you have been drinking it your entire life. Because if you are over 60 and you are waking up 2, 3, or even 4 times every single night to rush to the bathroom, the problem is almost certainly not how much water you are drinking. Rather, the problem lies in when you are drinking it, how fast you are drinking it, and what you are drinking it with. It is highly likely that nobody, not your primary care doctor, not the label on your water bottle, not a single health influencer online, has ever sat you down and explained this to you properly until today. I am Dr. William Lee, and during my years working with countless patients in urology and vascular medicine, I have seen this specific pattern repeat itself thousands of times. Intelligent, active seniors destroying their sleep every night over something that is completely 100% fixable. The solution to this widespread issue does not require a prescription, it does not require surgery, and it absolutely does not require you to resign yourself to a lifetime of sleepless nights. Instead, it requires understanding 6 specific things about how your aging body handles water, things that are completely different from how a 30-year-old's body handles it. These adjustments are subtle yet profound, and implementing them can reverse years of sleeplessness and anxiety related to nighttime bathroom trips. Here is what stopped me cold recently, highlighting the devastating consequences of this common problem. A study published by researchers at Leiden University Medical Center followed over 1,800 adults aged 60 and above and found that 72% of them experienced what is clinically called nocturia, the medical term for intake goals. I have watched this specific pattern destroy sleep for patient after patient, creating a perfect storm for nocturia. Here is the biology of why this pattern is so catastrophic for the aging body specifically. After the age of 65, your kidneys lose approximately 30 to 40% of their filtration efficiency compared to younger adults, a process called glomerular decline. This means the tiny filtering units inside your kidneys, the glomeruli, simply are not as fast or as powerful as they once were. Think of your kidneys like a water treatment plant that's running at half its original capacity. When you flood that system with fluid in the evening hours, it cannot process it quickly. It banks the excess fluid, and then right around 11 p.m., midnight, or 1 a.m., precisely when you desperately want to be in deep sleep, your kidneys finally catch up, processing the backlog and sending an undeniable signal to your bladder that it is time to empty. The fix for number 6 is deceptively simple, but requires genuine commitment. Front load your hydration. Drink 60 to 70% of your daily fluid intake before 2 p.m. Researchers at the University of Copenhagen studying hydration patterns in adults over 70 found that those who shifted the majority of their fluid intake to morning and early afternoon hours reduced nighttime urination episodes by an average of 43% within just 3 weeks. 3 weeks, no medication, no procedure, just timing. A patient of mine, I will call her Margaret, a 71-year-old retired school teacher from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, came to me after 2 years of waking up 4 times every single night. She was exhausted, anxious about falling in the dark, and had even started wearing incontinence pads to bed. Believing her, condition was irreversible and a normal part of aging. Within 21 days of shifting her water intake to earlier in the day, she was down to 1 nighttime trip. Within 6 weeks, some nights she had 0 trips. She cried in my office during her follow-up appointment, telling me she felt like herself again for the first time in years. That is what proper timing can do for your quality of life. As a synergy tip, pair this strategy with herbal tea in the morning hours rather than plain water. We will talk about why in a moment, but certain compounds in specific herbal teas actually support kidney function in ways that plain water alone does not. Now let's move to number 5, which will likely surprise you because it involves something almost every cardiologist and health publication has been telling you to do for decades, drinking a full glass of water right before bed. You have probably heard that this practice protects your heart, prevents nighttime strokes, and keeps your blood pressure stable. And while there is a kernel of truth in that for certain individuals with specific cardiovascular conditions, for the vast majority of seniors over 65, drinking 8 or more ounces of water in the 90 minutes before sleep is essentially programming your body to wake you up at 2 a.m. Here is the critical physiology that nobody explains. When you lie down horizontally, fluid that has been sitting in your lower legs and feet, pulled there by gravity throughout the day, suddenly redistributes upward through your body. This fluid shift is dramatically more pronounced in older adults because of reduced venous tone, meaning the blood vessels in your legs are slightly less elastic and allow more fluid to accumulate during the day. Johns Hopkins researchers studying this fluid redistribution effect found that in adults over 70, simply lying down can mobilize up to 300 mrem of extra fluid toward the kidneys within the first 90 minutes of sleep. That is more than a full cup of extra fluid your kidneys suddenly need to process before you have swallowed a single additional drop. Add a bedtime glass of water on top of that naturally mobilized fluid, and you have essentially guaranteed a 1 more a.m. bathroom visit, forcing your kidneys to work overtime precisely when they should be resting. The solution is not to stop hydrating in the evening entirely, as dehydration carries its own cardiovascular risks. Instead, the key is to sip. Take tiny sips. If you feel genuinely thirsty after 7 p.m., take 3 or 4 small sips, never a full glass. Keep a small 4-ounce cup on your nightstand rather than a large water bottle so that even if you do reach for it, the volume is limited and controlled. The scientific references for all of these studies I am citing today are listed in the description below. I always make sure you have access to the original sources to verify this information for yourself. Number 4 is where things get genuinely fascinating, and it involves the mineral content of your water. Number 4, the mineral gap that is making your bladder hyperactive is one of the most underappreciated connections in senior health. And I would confidently say that 95% of the general public has never heard this explained. The key mineral here is magnesium, specifically magnesium deficiency. Research from the National Institutes of Health suggests that up to 68% of older adults are deficient in magnesium. Magnesium deficiency directly causes something called detrusor overactivity. The detrusor is the muscle that wraps around your bladder. When it becomes overactive, it contracts when it should not, sending urgent "I need to go now" signals to your brain, even when your bladder is only partially full. Sound familiar? A landmark clinical trial conducted at the University of Bristol involving 150 women over the age of 60 found that supplementing with magnesium hydroxide twice daily reduced nighttime urination episodes by 53% over just 4 weeks. 53%. That is a more powerful result than several prescription bladder medications on the market, with a fraction of the side effects highlighting magnesium's role in relaxing this overactive muscle. But here is the hydration connection. The water most of us drink today, filtered, purified, softened municipal water, has had the majority of its natural mineral content stripped away during processing. You are drinking water that is essentially mineral empty, and your aging body, which already absorbs magnesium less efficiently due to reduced stomach acid production, is getting almost nothing from its primary historical mineral source. The practical application here is to switch to a mineral-rich water for at least your morning intake. Brands like Gerolsteiner or San Pellegrino contain naturally occurring magnesium levels that can meaningfully contribute to your daily intake. Alternatively, add a small pinch, and I mean a pinch, less than a quarter teaspoon, of high-quality sea salt or a magnesium supplement specifically formulated for seniors to your morning glass of water. The synergy tip here is to take your magnesium with a small amount of healthy fat, like a few almonds or half an avocado, because magnesium absorbs significantly better in the presence of fat-soluble compounds. I want to pause here for just a moment. If you are finding this genuinely useful, and I hope you are, because this information genuinely changes lives, please take a second right now and click the like button. It costs you nothing, and it tells this platform to show this video to other seniors who are suffering through sleepless nights when they do not have to be. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do. We release new content every week specifically for men and women over 60 who deserve real, evidence-based guidance. Now, let's get to number 3, because this one involves something sitting in your kitchen right now. Number 3, the hidden bladder irritants dissolved in your healthy drinks is a critical point. Here is something that took me years of clinical experience to fully appreciate. Most of my patients who came to me with severe nocturia were not drinking irresponsibly. They were doing everything they thought was right. Herbal teas in the evening, coconut water for electrolytes, sparkling water to stay hydrated, fruit-infused water because plain water was boring. And every single one of those beverages consumed in the evening hours was silently aggravating their bladder. Let me explain why. The aging bladder, particularly after 70, when the mucus lining of the bladder thins by approximately 40% compared to its peak, becomes dramatically more sensitive to chemical irritants. Compounds that a younger bladder would shrug off completely begin to trigger inflammation and urgency in the aging bladder lining. Citric acid, found in all citrus fruits and their infusions, is a potent bladder irritant. Carbonation in sparkling water increases intravesical pressure. That is the pressure inside the bladder, and triggers urgency signals. Certain herbal teas, particularly those containing hibiscus, rosehip, or high doses of vitamin C, have the same effect. A patient of mine, I will call him Robert, 74, a retired engineer from Tucson, Arizona, had been religiously drinking a healthy evening tea ritual for 3 years. His concoction included green tea with lemon and a splash of apple cider vinegar, which he had read was good for digestion. He was waking up 3 times a night and was convinced he had a serious bladder condition. I had him eliminate every evening drink except plain warm water for 2 weeks. His nocturia dropped from 3 visits per night to 1. The culprit was not disease. It was the irritants he was unknowingly pouring into a sensitive, aging bladder every evening. The practical rule for number 3 is this. After 5 p.m., your only beverage should be plain water, neither sparkling nor citrus infused, or chamomile tea, which is one of the rare herbal teas with actual clinical evidence for bladder calming properties. A study from Nagoya University in Japan found that chamomile extract reduced bladder muscle contractility by 28% in adult subjects. Warm, plain chamomile tea in the early evening is genuinely one of the best things you can put in an aging bladder before sleep. Now let's get to number 2. I teased this earlier, and I am delivering on that promise. This is the one that is going to make you look at your morning routine very differently. Number 2, the morning dehydration spiral that starts the vicious cycle reveals a common habit that backfires on seniors. Every single morning, without exception, you wake up in a state of significant dehydration. You have been breathing, perspiring slightly, and not drinking for 7, 8, or 9 hours. Your blood is modestly concentrated, and your kidneys are working in conservation mode. This is normal. What is not normal, or rather, what is not optimal, is what most health-conscious seniors then do first thing in the morning. They drink 1 large glass of cold water quickly, all at once, because they have been told to hydrate immediately upon waking. And doing this actually initiates a chain of physiological events that contributes to nighttime bathroom trips 12 to 14 hours later. Here is the mechanism, and it is genuinely counterintuitive. When you rapidly flood your system with a large volume of cold water first thing in the morning, you trigger what researchers call an acute osmotic shift. Essentially, you are rapidly diluting the blood and sending a surge of fluid through the kidneys all at once. The kidneys respond to this perceived sudden overload by producing a large volume of dilute urine very quickly to restore balance. But here is the problem. This rapid flush creates a rebound effect. Your hypothalamus, the brain region that regulates thirst and fluid balance, interprets the rapid dilution as a signal to activate antidiuretic hormone, ADH, suppression. And suppressed ADH means your kidneys become less efficient at concentrating urine throughout the day, meaning you produce more urine than necessary for the rest of the day and into the evening. Research from the University of Tokyo's Department of Nephrology found that adults over 65 who drank water slowly, taking small sips over a a 30-minute window rather than a single rapid glass, had 31% better ADH regulation throughout the day, and produced measurably less urine in the evening hours compared to those who drank quickly. Slow sipping in the morning is not a minor tweak. It is a fundamentally different hormonal signal to your kidneys. The practical application: when you wake up, do not grab a large glass of water. Instead, fill a small 6-ounce cup and sip it slowly over 20 to 30 minutes while you do your morning routine, read, or have breakfast. Follow that with another small cup 30 minutes later. The synergy tip here is to have your morning water slightly warm rather than cold. Warm water absorbs across the gut lining approximately 20% faster than cold water and does not trigger the same gastric shock response that cold water causes in older digestive systems, which are already producing about 40% less stomach acid than they did in your 40s. This single change, slow, warm morning sipping rather than rapid cold chugging, is one of the most powerful bladder rhythm resets available to you. Give it 14 days and watch what happens to your nights. And now, number 1, the single most powerful hydration strategy for eliminating nighttime waking. This one brings everything together. Number 1, the 2-hour hydration cutoff combined with the afternoon loading window describes a master principle that is elegant in its simplicity, even though the science behind it is remarkably complex. Your body has a natural urine production rhythm governed by a circadian hormone called arginine vasopressin, which is another name for the antidiuretic hormone, ADH, I mentioned earlier. In healthy young adults, this hormone surges in the evening, telling the kidneys to slow urine production dramatically during sleep. The kidneys of a 25-year-old produce roughly 50% less urine at night than during the day. This is why young people can sleep through the night without issue. After the age of 60, arginine vasopressin production declines. By age 75, researchers at the University of Amsterdam found that the nighttime suppression of urine production decreases by up to 35%, meaning older kidneys are producing nearly as much urine at 2 a.m. as they are at 2 p.m. This condition is called nocturnal polyuria, or excessive nighttime urine production, and it affects an estimated 77% of seniors with nocturia. This is not a bladder problem. It is a kidney circadian rhythm problem, and you can influence it directly through hydration timing. The protocol is this: establish a firm fluid cutoff of 2 hours before your intended sleep time. If you go to bed at 10 p.m., your last meaningful drink of water, more than a few small sips, should be by 8 p.m. at the absolute latest. But, and this is the part most people miss, to make that cutoff sustainable and safe, you must aggressively hydrate in the window between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. This is your golden hydration window. This is when your kidneys are at their functional peak, your bladder is awake and active, and your body can process and eliminate fluid efficiently before the evening suppression window begins. A clinical study published in the journal Neurourology and Urodynamics involving 223 adults over the age of 65 found that participants who followed a structured afternoon hydration loading protocol, consuming 40% of their daily fluid between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m., combined with a strict 2-hour evening cutoff, reduced nocturia episodes by an average of 61% within 30 days. 61%, nearly 2/3 of their nighttime bathroom trips were eliminated through timing alone. The synergy tip for number 1 is to pair your afternoon hydration window with a small serving of potassium-rich food, half a banana, a few slices of cucumber, or a small portion of plain yogurt. Potassium and water work together at the cellular level to optimize fluid distribution in the body's tissues, reducing the amount of excess fluid that ends up in the bloodstream and consequently in the kidneys during evening hours. It is a partnership that the body responds to beautifully, particularly in the aging system where cellular fluid balance becomes progressively less efficient after 65. Here is what I want you to understand before this video ends, and I mean this from 25 years of sitting across from patients who came to me exhausted, embarrassed, and convinced that waking up every night was simply what it meant to get older. It is not. Nocturia is not an inevitable tax on aging. It is a correctable physiological pattern, and the correction does not begin in an operating room or a pharmacy. It begins in how you drink your water, when you drink it, and what you drink it with. Margaret got her nights back at 71. Robert reclaimed his sleep at 74. I have watched men and women in their 80s reduce nighttime bathroom trips from 4 per night to 1 or 0 using exactly these principles. Your independence matters. Your sleep matters. The energy you have tomorrow morning to play with grandchildren, to walk, to cook, to live is directly connected to the quality of the sleep you get tonight. And that quality is in meaningful part in your hands, starting with your very next glass of water. It is never, ever too late to give your body the right information and to reclaim the sleep and vitality you deserve. If this video helped you, and I genuinely hope it did, please subscribe to this channel right now. Click that subscribe button and the bell notification so you never miss a new video. We are here every week with evidence-based guidance designed specifically for people over 60 who deserve to be treated as the intelligent, capable individuals they are. And now I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell me which of these 6 strategies surprised you most. And are you going to try the afternoon hydration loading window first or the 2-hour evening cutoff? I read every comment personally, and your responses help shape what I make next. See you in the next video.